Okay, so I've put in the initial set of holes that are just pilot holes, and I used a 5/64 bit. I could have used a 1/16, but a 1/16 is very, very thin. Sometimes it can bend a little bit and create a crooked hole. And a 5/64 is just a little bit thicker. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and use a Forstner bit. It's got a brad point, so you can just put it right into that hole. And I'm going to use the Forstner bit that's 5/16 wide. So the head of the screw will go right into that. And I'm going to make a hole in each one of these pilot holes. And if I don't get it quite deep enough, that's okay. It's easy to place a Forstner bit right back where it belongs and make it go deeper. But we've got to get that. We've got to get that next drilling done with the Forstner bit. So that's what we'll do now. And so I'm going to go and do that next. We're all set up to drill this. I'll show the first couple. So there are those holes done. What I'll do next is I'll come in from the back side and drill a 1/4 inch hole and see how the screw fits in. But first I'll finish these next couple and then we'll take a look at what it looks like. Okay, so those initial holes are all done with the Forstner bit. So now I've got a 1/4 inch brad point bit. So I've got a little laser guide here, but even if you don't have that, you can just be sure the brad point is put right in the hole. Like that. Okay, so there's the first set of holes all done. I'm going to go get a screw and see how it fits. Okay, so you can see I've put one of my 1/4 by 20 screws in here, so that's a 1/4 inch in diameter and 20 threads to the inch. So that fits right into that hole, and the Forstner hole buries the head, so we can sand and shape the top, and you've got plenty of threads coming out through the other end. Plus these screws come in multiple different lengths. If we have one that's a little too short, we can easily get another one that's a little bit longer and put that in there. So that's what we want. So I'll go do the other side, and then we'll start putting in the threaded inserts into the core of the mold. Okay, so this is a little package that I got from Amazon, and it's got 48 1/4 by 20 threaded inserts. And so this is fantastic. I've always gone searching to multiple stores for these, and they've always been expensive. But this was like $8 or $9 for 48 of them. So it's hard to beat that. So I've got got to drill a 3/8 inch hole, so I put a 3/8 inch bit on my drill press, and I'm going to go get one of my mold core sides and drill a few holes here and then thread one of these in and see how it fits. So I will be right back. Okay, I just set the depth stop on my drill press here, so it stops when it gets to what appears to be the correct depth for the threaded insert. So now I'm just going to line it back up on our hole and go drill it. So now I need I need to get an Allen wrench to thread this in, so I'll be right. Okay, so the funny thing about these threaded inserts is that the inserts are 1/4 by 20 inches, but the Allen wrench you need is 6 millimeters. So that's kind of interesting. Plus the edges are flared, so I had to get a tool to flare that edge out just a little bit. And so now we're going to put it back in and see how it fits. Fits really nicely. And seems to be flush. Everything looks good. So we're going to go do the rest of them. Okay, so there we have it. There's one side. The top side is done. All 4 bolts are in. It's tight. Everything's aligned just perfectly. There's a little bit of overlap there that we're going to go back in later and route away so that it's flush. And that's just what we want. So I'm going to go do the other side, and then we're going to start working on the back where we've got a stack one. That makes things a little more complicated, but really not too bad. You just got to be sure you take the pilot hole all the way through that middle piece, and it's not a big deal. So I'm going to go do the other side, and then we'll start looking at doing the back. Okay, here's the other side of the top half of the mold. All done. All the bolts are in. Everything looks good, nice and solid, good overlap. And so now we're going to go focus on the back.